Greetings, salutations, Dota fans. SUNSfan here with SyndereN. We got Liquid versus BetBoom in this two-game series for Dream League Season 26. How are you doing, SyndereN?
I'm doing.
SyndereN, how are you doing?
I'm good, Shannon. Thank you. Thank you very much.
So glad to hear it.
Someone who isn't good is Boxy.
Yeah, he's going to be first blooded. It'll go to save. So BetBoom already on the board.
You give this guy a game-winning hero as a second pick.
Oh, Saberlight.
It's
Yep. He is going to tick out, has no mana to speak of. Oh, he actually pops the wand and will live as we have a spike in the Matrix here. Kataomi stuck inside the shards, has to try to fight his way out. Blood Grenade does connect on the Medusa, but will barely live. Unfortunately for Kataomi, not going to be the case.
Yeah, he opted to whip the Medusa instead of the Tusk. He could have.
As Save is making his way, attempt to gank onto Nisha, but he is spotted. Although they're going to still go on him. GPK gonna get the Jingu stacks up. There's a TP coming in from Boxy. The snowball save. Gonna try to use this to kill off of Save. It's gonna be a 1-for-1 though, unless the Ice Shards does finish the job, but still, favor going the way of BetBoom. GPK is gonna be super happy with this exchange.
So far, so good. It's not because Nisha doesn't play a mean prophet. He's very good at it, but it's very different if this hero is not on a carry player that's a true expert at it, like Mickey is, and the way Liquid play. But so far, we haven't seen much of Nisha this game.
Well, Save denies a rune. It might cost him his life, but the Wukong's command from the other side on GPK. Will we get the trade? So it's a 1-for-1 to stars, and Stany just dies to the soldiers. And GPK not able to pursue any further as Boxy will end up going past his ancient stack, which I believe Miara will just casually take here in a moment. Indeed, that is... Oh my god, Boxy almost dies just to that alone. Miara wasn't even aware that he was there. Nice sidestep again. Chakram's up in just a moment. The whip, not quite enough. A nice snowball, but V-Tune is here. He's going to be brought back as well. And Miro just casually takes out Boxy. Job done. Although the Dragon Tail comes out, Boxy applied to Kataomi. Brief Fire not going to finish him off. A nice whip onto 3 heroes. Uses the whoopee cushion as well. Kataomi getting slow just a bit.
Oh my, they have to Ice Blast him to kill him.
Yeah, will finish the job. Waste a lot of time, though.
Space.
The stacks were taken in large part by BetBoom.
Yeah.
And BKB is almost there for Miero. Just a recipe away, effectively.
Interesting choice that he opts to go for that first here. I actually was not expecting that. I think he could have rushed Ags. But
he's going to be spotted. Going to deward, though. Boxy gets hexed by Save, and that is a lot of damage from Miero. TP is going to be canceled, and Insania will be left to his own devices. So 2 kills for BetBoom again, and both of which going to the Monkey King. So GPK has the Diffusal Blade.
I don't see the obvious way for them to set up fights unless they're relying on this some sort of Atos play from Saberlight to set up a Dragon Tail, but I think you're already digging kind of deep, so Liquid's way to come back in this is a strong counterplay. It's got to be it. Bait someone, land your spells.
Smoke from BetBoom. They got the Hex onto the Dragon Knight. TP's coming in, but he might be dead before it even comes. Indeed, that is the case. V-Tune dead just like that, but the big AA Blast, Wheel of Wonders used to try to counteract this, is Kiritich able to get the toss-up onto Boxy. He will fall. Question is, how many members of Liquid will it cost? That's 2 so far. Boundless Strike from GPK. Gets off his ultimate as well with that Diffusal Blade in tow. That is a dead Medusa. Double kill for him again. Feels like he's had several of those already. And now Boxy, seemingly always the one trying to run away, will make it difficult on the side of BetBoom. Nice fake out on the Boundless Strike, and now they will ensure yet another kill goes their way.
Yeah, so that was an attempted counterplay from Liquid on initiation, kind of like expected, but it's just stupid hard. And
so still 2 tier 2s up on the side of Liquid, and we'll see what BetBoom can get out of this Aegis. Saberlight with the Meteor Hammer, just to make sure that it works. Doesn't hit it, of course, but is he actually already going for a Rapier? Is that?
I mean, this combo on Tiny is just not possible to hit, right? He tried to go for the Atos into Hammer, but Tiny has Insurmountable.
Oh, they know. Save, spotted out. AA Blast going to be avoided thanks to the force of his GPK comes in, trying to get off the Wukong command, but the Walrus Punch was there. He's taking a lot of damage. GPK, finally the Wukong's coming with that extra armor, trying to fight his way out of it onto Boxy, but he drops. It's a trade, though. And now the Medusa Saberlight stuck in the wrong place, wrong time. Okay, I think they thought he was dead. Still alive, ladies and gentlemen. Finally will be taken out in tow. So 2 for 1. Technically in favor of BetBoom in terms of the numbers. As the Active Scepter already picked up by Miero. Very tanky. We'll have to pop the BKB. will blow up to 0 damage. His V2 pops to BKB as well, but they're not going to pursue any further. So a support and an offlaner for, I mean, GPK was on a huge streak, so this is why I was going to ask you, and I'd like to give GPK a hard time, but you give him the Aegis. I know that all things considered equal, you would want to give it to the Tiny. I get it, but it's GPK. He's going to die, you know?
Yeah, I think that moment was avoidable. I think they maybe dove a little bit too aggressively, but the ultimate outcome, I think, is still completely fine outside of BetBoom. But yeah, FIFA 99, baby.
Yeah, 99. That was a good year.
I found a way to break that game, by the way. You would take the ball and you would run to the back line, you would wait there, and eventually the AI would tackle you from behind. You would beat them on red cards.
Oh, wow.
You could just keep walking. You could beat the hardest level AI by just camping the ball.
Very good. SyndereN can try that tactic here to get out of dodge. Snowball's coming. GPK already with the BKB and the Wukong's command, draining the mana from SyndereN. Trying to heal up thanks to... Oh, actually lives thanks to the neutral item.
Why is GPK not chasing him? Okay.
Yeah, he's going to get shackled, but Mystic Snake gets the stun off. SyndereN. Oh, my goodness. Deleted with the Boundless Strike.
Popped him.
18k lead now. Aegis on the side of the Tony again.
Yeah. This one's going to be used for high grounding, though, so this one makes a lot more sense to put on the Tiny in general. As much as they try, Liquid just don't really have the damage, and they don't have the way to set the fights on their terms. So again, not to sound like a broken record, but probably.
You think so?
Maybe a 2. You know what? Maybe it's a 2.
Okay.
It is very easy, but it's not like totally free. Like a 1 would just be, okay, you're 40k up, you go high ground, and they can't fight you. You have a Medusa with Aegis that can't die. That's a 1, right? That's, yeah. Not that easy, but it is pretty straightforward, to be honest. For them. Save. Is he going to get eyes on Boxy? He will. And who's going to save the savior? Nisha's going to try.
He's here.
Good damage.
Going to continue. Snowball's coming to him, though, and GPK is actually going to get stunned on the tree, but comes back down to finish what they started. He's on another killing spree. SyndereN, he's going to get tossed up into the air, but he's quite tanky. Arrow. Speaking of tanky, that Aghanim Scepter. Kiritich jumps in pretty deep, but you can see the Dragonite completely isolated from his team as BKB's used from the side of BetBoom just to retreat for the time being. GPK is going to try to join the fight, and he does so successfully. And this might be the beginning of the end of Liquid in this game, although they do take out 1, and that's a big one on GPK, but it's going to cost them. 3 dead for Liquid. Force Staff onto SyndereN. Do they have the damage? And they really, without the Monkey King, this is a lot harder kill than it looks like. And it's a buyback onto Nisha as well. They really want to try to fight this out.
Just TP, lol.
Yeah, the TPs are pretty successful. The Kiritich gets taken out along with Kataomi. So the buybacks came out from Liquid, and there's
the creep wave blocked.
The creep wave doing a really good job of blocking. And I think Kiritich has to try to fight his way out of this, but he's going to be surrounded by both trees and enemy members of the side of Liquid. So I'm actually really interested to see what the fight recap is here.
I think it's pretty even. The profit buyback is super expensive. So, yeah, pretty much. Potentially win a fight down the stretch. But as you said, this was a good showcase of why Medusa is a good pick this game, is once the Monkey King is out of the picture, SyndereN is more or less invincible against these heroes. But he's in the picture now.
Yeah.
Oh, they let him get his ult off.
Balance Strike misses. GPK. Okay. He's going to get Escapes Art. EA, it's in the game, something. EA Sports is in the game. That's what was missing. SyndereN basically out of mana, but gets an injection all of a sudden. GPK has to walk away with the BKB. The Wheel of Wonder not going to do too much as Nisha jumping in. Wants to take out Save. Will be able to do so. Well, unless that shard will save him. Not going to be the case this time. That's a buyback now onto the Rasa as Niero. He's going to go in deep. Absolutely blowing up Nisha. And like you said, dieback for him. TP's not going to happen on the side of Liquid. And this is surround tactics now. Onto El Saberlito, who's also brought to his knees.
There should be minimum 1 lane of racks, right? Liquid cannot fight without their profit. You're just going to go straight down mid here. You have 5 heroes, nice and healthy. You have enough mana on the Timber Saw to try to fight. And you do have Wukong's command. I don't think Liquid were going to be able to execute this defense, but they were trying for it. So honestly, credit to BetBoom for making the read. But I don't think this was a fight they were going to lose personally. But maybe they just think, we're going to get this later anyway.
He's going to tank the gank, the shard.
He can
we'll keep him alive a little bit longer.
Nice
Miao coming in very nicely. That's a lot of damage being applied through. They're going to lose the roster, though, so it's 5v4 advantage Liquid. as the AA Blast coming in. But look at that damage from Carrot. It actually blows up Boxy. Aishar's actually blocking out the Dragon Knight a little bit. He's trying to focus down the Ringmaster. In the meantime, GPK from the right side gets a beautiful balance strike onto 2 with the Wukong's command as well. But 3 dead already for BetBoom. And GPK, he's going to be surrounded 1 versus 4. Do you try to TP out there? Nisha is going to get bashed. He's going to get taken out. And he gets to the high ground. Will live. And actually, that's 4 dead for BetBoom now. As GPK dies again. How did Nisha survive? And Liquid, have they?
I just think this is a good situation for Timber in general, and you just have to accept that there's going to be an Ags in the fight. Try to kill other heroes while he's going to work. Try to kite.
Or she'll be up in 20.
Really good timing here for Liquid.
Yeah, Wukong's command on top of the Medusa with
the
Surfer Wars as well. A Blast coming, but an instant Hex onto the Tusk, so no save for him. That's already 2 dead for Liquid. That's a buyback now for Boxy, but Saberlight does not have one, so I think this Roche just goes to BetBoom now. We'll have to wait for him to traverse to the other side of the map.
And in a vacuum, so you can tell right now, BetBoom are hesitant. They kind of want to go high ground, but all right.
Oh, they're going to get the Abyssal Blade, the initiation, but the instant Hex again onto Boxy. AA Blast is coming. He's going to hit basically everyone, but that's 2 dead already for Liquid. No way to get back in the game either. So now it's just about resetting. As Nisha is in really deep, he's going to get back mid-TP. He is surrounded. Boundless Strike can apply a lot of pressure as well as Nisha. Well, he gets the Aegis, but it's going to cost him his life. He does have buyback this time, but look at that. V-Tune caught off guard again. Onto the low ground, gets tossed back into the fray. Completely surrounded, but he has the ability to get back to the high ground. Boundless Strike, not going to hit, but still the buildings will melt here. Of course, the NP can get back in. Might have to do that right here, as that Avalanche is going to do so much work. And CNA gets 3-shot. Now the buildings will follow suit. Buys back, though. Has his Ice Blast as well. You can see Roshan's banner placed, so now the creeps will not be going anywhere. This is going to be a second lane in favor of BetBoom.
Yeah. In the meantime, one little boy did take the top melee racks.
Oh.
For Team Liquid, so it is a 2-for-2 on the racks, but the buybacks are big.
Yeah.
They're going to commit here. BetBoom are kind of all in with the Shaman buyback, too. They just want to try to push an end.
Ice Blast. Not going to really hit anything. It's going to clip Kiritich as he's going to get a beautiful stun into the Dragon. He's taking a massive amount of damage. GPK deletes him. Does have buyback here, though.
Get Kiritich, I think.
Command is placed, but on the outskirts is the Tusk. He's going to get taken out in turn. The buyback from the Tiny now. They were able to take out one from Liquid's side, as the Ringmaster is going to tick out eventually once V-Tune is unhexed, and in case indeed that is the case. You see the Tiny trying to defend his base as Miero and company. They're going to have to back away, so mission was not successful here for BetBoom. As GPK on the tree line. They spot him here. He's going to actually jump on top of V-Tune. Trying to apply some pressures. The Wheel of Wonder not going to do too much. Boundless Strike finally going to be used. Not going to use the shard to get into better play, though, as GPK focusing all his efforts onto this V-Tune kill. He's taking no damage, though. GPK, he's Ice Blasted. He's taken out. He's dead. Buys back instantly. They have to be careful with their base as well. It did create a little bit of space, and that's a lot of burst damage from Miero on top of this Dragon Knight. Double kill for him as save. He's going to live thanks to the escape arts. And now the instant toss, the triple toss, the deletion of Saberlight. And surely that's going to do it. Ancient is exposed, only one member up for Liquid, and GG is called. It started out as an absolute mega stomp and somehow turned into a pretty exciting finish.
Damn, this became a 47-minute game, and that wasn't that far off of being a Liquid win. If they somehow could have structured this last defense a little bit better and got, let's say, one dieback forced out on the side of BetBoom, every hero Liquid killed had buyback, one by one by one. So they never killed the same hero twice back to back.
Well, let's take a look. Team Liquid has very limited time available to decide where they want to go with their final pick. It will be a ranking. That is, I believe, a V-Tune special.
That's a hero I always believe in more in the offlane myself.
Did you listen at all?
I did, and I would have. I kind of. Oh, hang on. No, we're good. Okay.
Are we? Because V-Tune is dead. Oh wait.
Oh, yes. He actually is.
He is dead.
Last shot from Katsuomi. Oh, great start for BetBoom.
How do you like the Wraith King this game?
They got 3 bounty runes on the kill. Yeah, so it's good news for Liquid. GPK was starting to pull a little bit ahead of Nisha in the mid lane on the Panga versus Tiny matchup, but now that he has to retreat, Nisha with a full bar of resources should be able to get ahead now. Oh, V-Tune summoned the skeletons, but couldn't get the stun off on save.
Yep, has no mana. He's going to get skewered out. And it's going to take a shock to his system as Miero actually has to walk away because the skeletons are going to finish him off if he's not careful. But Save, as we see, does get the last hit on the V-Tune. It will be a trade. One int goes the way of Insania. So 1-for-1 trade, but obviously if you're Liquid, you're still not going to feel too good about it.
Can GPK break 6 before the rune? He cannot. So this will be no Pango ult fight if it were to break out. A lot of heroes here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he just got 6, actually.
Clip
just
one.
now.
GPK, like you said, Rolling Thunder at the ready. Gonna stun 2 members of Liquid. Actually gets stuck a little bit here, so a little awkward from BetBoom. Not gonna apply any pressure to Nisha. Instead, gonna try to take out the Earthshaker. Instead, a big Swashbuckle comes out, as well as the Shield Crash. That's 1 dead. Will be the trade for the Rasta again. Another whip, this time into Insania. And GPK not able to really finish the job here. Kind of an awkward engagement from both sides.
Yeah.
But ends up resulting in a support for support.
It's always fun to see Pango against Shaker. It makes for some interesting moments with, you know, you have like your muscle memory of how you're rolling, and then there's a fissure kind of in the way, and can get a little bit dicey. Oh, Insania. He's not going to outlive this.
Yeah, he might deny himself, though.
He's trying, but GPK patient.
At bottom lane,
Kill
Saberlight
too.
Again, pretty good start for BetBoom. 8-3 advantage. It's only a 1K lead, though.
Because I think if you have enough utility coming from your offlane Terrorblade, you do have the damage. And Orchid can definitely have a big impact on this game.
Yes, GPK not able to get the rune here. Boxy will be taking the Arcane. Nisha might not be too happy
GPK's
about that.
angry with that.
Yes, he is. Fissure can actually isolate the Tiny a bit, as the Rolling Thunder is going to be used to full effect. Actually puts him on the other side, but it doesn't look like it's going to matter. Kiritich ends up netting himself a very valuable kill for BetBoom. And BetBoom now grouping up to likely take out this tier 1 tower. They have the siege. Now, see if they actually want to fully commit or not. Box is going to show himself, gets a fissure onto 2. Swashbuckle already used from GPK.
Damn, he's
the
in
shield
there.
crash as
He's
well.
calling the bluff.
Yeah, Boxy's dead. Insania, the only member of Liquid in the vicinity, so they're not going to be too scared, although I say that.
Also dying.
2 TPs here. Like you said, Saberlight getting taken out by Kiritich in the meanwhile. Miero. They have the toss from Nisha, but was tossed on a teammate, and GPK trying to get into the pit for a little bit of extra maneuverability. Not going to be the case, though. So a kill finally going the way of Liquid in this very long and awkward engagement. Miero, no skewer for 8 seconds, so he's going to be food for V-Tune. You still buy Blink on position 1 Abby?
I think most of the time, if you want reach, you get Harpoon. But you definitely can buy Blink. I wouldn't mind it here if you can play your hero as almost a Shaker counter in a way by getting Dagger. Like you just blink into the back line and Radiance him out of the fight.
Yeah.
That could be an interesting way of enabling your teammates. That's Omi.
Yeah, Orchid applied. That should provide enough time to clean him up. Indeed, that is the case. Liquid with the numbers. Now they see a little bit of an ancient stack, which they will gladly take for themselves.
Just took the mid tier 1, and now they're going to take the top tier 1. A strong power play here, in spite of being down in Aegis. They are the ones making the moves. Getting to work. I don't think you wait for Kiritich to get Manta before you get involved now. I think it's going to take too long. You want to use your Aegis. You want to try to take a fight. It's going to be brought to you, it seems. Miero.
Yep, Orchid there again, but save is here. And of course that Crimson is going to buy a lot of time. And Nisha actually gets Serpent Ward trapped. Wheel of Wonder now onto the Terrorblade. There's a big RP onto 2.
That's
Global
late
Silence
global.
a little late. The Rolling
It
Thunder
still
is
worked,
already
though.
placed, but Saberlight able to stay alive thanks to the Thunder. And now Liquid trying to turn this around, but a big Swashbuckle comes out, and that is a dead Nisha. Saberlight follows suit. So despite it being kind of a back and forth now, firmly in favor of BetBoom as the Echo Slam comes out. And that is enough to eventually take out Kiritich. 3 dead, though, for Liquid. They're going to be able to take out the Rasta in tow. Miero with the skewer. That is life number 1 for V-Tune. He will tick out the Magnus with the Radiance. And now VTune versus GPK. As Kataomi gets deleted by Boxy, and this is 1 by 1 they fall. Now GPK in a 1 versus 2. Shield crash in 1 second. They get the Aegis.
Not enough mana for Fissure.
Using the Horsey. Has shield crash again and the swash, so miss times that a bit as Boxy's there with the enchant totem, but he gets to the high ground in time. Uses the Fusel Blade, but he's going to get run down eventually. Big kill for Liquid, and that's a full team wipe effectively. Cost them a lot, but that was a really back and forth fight.
Getting a ton of value out of the Wraith King in this fight in particular. Just VTune. When your offlaner is Terrorblade, there's less pressure on you to really get there with high damage output. You can play more of a like setup, catch, control type of build. And you could tell he's going
like
Octarine next.
It's like a support, but you have fun.
Yeah, kind of. It's a scaling support build in a way, yeah. Looking at Octarine Wind Waker.
Saberlight, that's an instant Orchid.
Good box,
Rolling
though.
Thunder from GPK, though. And Saberlight's going to get diffused. Heritage already going to have to use his ult. You're going to try to surround Saberlight. The RP is enough to take him out right off the bat. Miero gets credit for that one. Wraith King, life number 1. Boxy has no mana to speak of as Nisha comes in with the Avatos onto the Pango, but he gets to the other side of the Fissure. Yules will keep him in place, though. And now the Shackle onto VTune. I don't know if they have enough follow-up here. GPK is going in really deep. He gets the kill onto Boxy. It's going to cost him his own life. And with Abaddon having very low HP, they are able to find Wraith King, but the armlet toggles are there from VTune staying alive. Will blink away, and now just farming in the midst of this battle. And the TP out from Miero is successful. Nisha mules onto Rasta, so another support bites the dust. And well, the Aphotic Shield, and okay, the heal comes out from Kiritich. Save. The toss is there. Eventually they get the kill that they came for. Will cost them a support though again, as Kiritich, he actually had enough time to get back to Fountain. Yeah, has his ult again. And Nisha, they're burning to this Radiance. VTune continuing to armlet toggle to a high degree. Nisha gets to the high ground, thinks he's safe, but Kiritich with the Blink Dagger will finish the job. And now Saberlight has to be a bit careful. Gets off the Sunder though. Inside that meta as well, but the Blink in time. Man, these are some... Everybody's so aggressive. It's awesome.
You know what would have been good that fight for Liquid? Global Silence.
Yeah.
Now imagine they had that. But it was on cooldown almost until the fight was... That fight lasted forever.
But would the fight have materialized in
That's
the
a
same
good question.
way?
But conversely, BetBoom. Aphotic Shield is going to keep them alive and kiting. Ringmaster and Shaman have tons of utility. So, very, very nice game in our hands right now. Smoke up from Liquid. They have global.
Smoke.
Oh, that's a good
Big
find.
Echo Slam onto 2.
Baby.
GPK dead, save as well, and just like that, it's a 3 versus 5 as they attempt to run away. Crimson Guard already expended. Kataomi surrounded. This will be a 3rd kill for Liquid off the back of Boxy Echo Slam initiation.
Yeah, the fight was over the moment he pressed one button. Blink Echo and they global, and you can just vice versa. Now, there has been a couple of good fights for Insania, so slowly but steadily he has stolen 27 int. And this does mean that Refresher is already a possibility. Toss back.
Tossed a box. Amazon would be proud of that. Miero, BKB TP, the Nightfall successful. Well executed. Kataomi with the TP as well. And everyone will live, it seems.
Oh, Save got a little greedy.
Everyone but Safe will live, it seems.
They're going to wait for Silencer to get here. Yo, Insania, get your int! Bro!
Unbelievable.
All right, that's actually triggering.
That's
Trigger warning, Silencer Enjoyer's out there. He ran out of range. That is not okay.
He forgot.
I mean, the silver lining is he has enough int to support the Refresher already because he stole 27.
Yeah, but he wants to turn to the carry. So that's what we all want to do. We've seen the position 3 turn into the position 1. Why not the 5?
Yeah. Well, because he's playing Silencer.
Yeah, infinite scaling.
Yep.
Wait, is it actually infinite?
No.
You don't get int if you can't steal it, right?
Right.
So technically not infinite scaling. GPK will have to use the roll up. Well, they're actually going to use the Echo Slam. Now they got the Rolling Thunder. He's bursted down. 5 versus 4. They have the buyback on the GPK, but we're talking about an Aegis now.
Yeah.
On the high ground.
And Liquid feel confident about daring them to fight here. If they get Blink Skewered on the Terrorblade, you do have Aegis. You can spam click defensive Yules as well. Obviously, if Miero pre-BKBs, that's a different story, but... Well,
interesting that Saberlight's the one holding Roche Banner, by the way. I don't see that too often on cores.
Yeah. Should probably put it down here, I think.
Now would probably be the time.
Do you not want to commit to this with Tango still not dying back? Maybe not.
Orchid onto Carrot. He's going to get tossed back. There's the global to follow, but no actual follow-up from Liquid. And maybe with that, they'll have to back away. It's so crazy.
I would say it's the reason the hero is picked in Pro.
Yeah, for sure.
So if you put it in that, if you put it into words in that way, then it's got to be one of the absolute best, right? If the hero is enabled to be played professionally because of a facet, then the facet has to be amazing. So, yeah. I think top 5 is probably fair. Kataomi.
Throws out a knife. Does that give away his position?
I think Nisha's looking for a bigger snack,
yeah,
but
GPK would be a bigger one, but they might have to settle. With the Rolling Thunder from GPK finds Boxy.
Well,
to follow. All right, looks like they were ready for this. The Skewer out as well. Yules will buy a little bit of time, but Boxy will fall eventually. As the buyback goes, V2's going to focus everything on to save at the moment. He's going to get burned away as a chicken, but going to get saved thanks to the box. Oh, he does tick out eventually, so 1 for 1 right now. And Saberlight at half HP has the Thunder available, but the RP comes out, and the damage is enough. Down goes Saberlight, and now V2 with the Nightfall. Oh, he gets bashed. And that is not good news for Liquid. As V2, oh, nice dodge from Kiritich. Not that it mattered too much. 3 for nothing.
Yeah, just as I was saying, this is going to start getting hard for BetBoom. They get a free kill on the Shaker, and then Liquid still stay. Speaking of that, Miero will try to get in for some fishing with the Ags, and of course, GPK with the Nullifier will be able to combo with him quite effectively. If they do find someone, these Yules are not going to buy time anymore. Ghost Scepters.
Oh boy.
But
the Shadow Shaman is deleted. My goodness, before the shard could even go off, actually. 70 seconds on the roster, and that's the first global.
He was nullified, right? That's why it didn't even... Yeah, he was nullified by V2.
Oh, I see.
So immediately just broken off. Miero.
Atos plays Echo Slam. Okay, only on to 1, but they get the kill nonetheless.
It's well worth it. You just got to build the fight step by step.
Miero with the Skewer into the BKB, just trying to run this out into his base. And the Blink Dagger not going to be available to him. No BKB anymore. No life anymore. And there's the Roche Banner placed. As Kiritich doing a really good job of clearing this wave, so this is going to delay things.
There every time. They can't prevent it. Maybe a well-timed Wraith King crit, I guess.
Maybe.
Not out of the question.
It's a bit difficult, I think.
It is. And also, it's one you can't plan for, right? It's just, you get lucky if it happens, but you can't strategize around that.
Saberlight. He's going to pop the smoke from GPK, who uses the ult. There's the global, though.
They found the perfect target.
They did. Earthshaker. Gonna get stun locked. Abyssal Blade. Force that from Nisha, though, to try to keep him alive. Boxy sheeped. RP only onto 1, but it is the silencer, so no second global for you. 2 dead for Liquid already. 5 versus 3 advantage for BetBoom. As V2, he is surrounded completely, but he's gonna have multiple lives to work with. Spotlight used to clean up some illusions. And I think it's just a matter of time, although V2 still had the BKB. We'll attempt the TP out. Bash finally comes. And that is going to be another life dead for V2.
That's an interesting
great
sentence.
Fight. What did I say? Another life dead?
Another life dead.
Technically makes sense.
It's good enough.
You don't need
he doesn't
to be
have
perfect.
buy. Yeah, that was just perfect. This is the dream scenario for BetBoom. This is the one thing. Like when I was talking about this stage of the game being difficult for BetBoom, it's with the perspective of Liquid do not get their supports jumped. Right, that's the #1 thing that can't happen. Wraith King takes forever to kill. Tiny takes forever to kill. Or is it for someone else?
Probably not. There's now a refresher for Miero. We're getting to some real late game scenario here. As Roche will go the way of BetBoom, but Liquid are on the way. And eventually it will fall. GPK looks like he'll take the Aegis. Spotlight used to clean up some illusions. Nisha and company still want to fight, though, apparently. Going to focus on the Ringmaster, but the Ogre Steel Tome is going to keep him alive. SaberLight gets Abyssal Bladed, but they finally get the hero that they came for, at least
That's
initially. Katomi dead. Buyback is there. The RP onto 2 heroes from Miero. Into the Wheel of Wonder, into the second RP as well. Do they have the damage? SaberLight, he gets it off in time! The Sunder is successful. Going to try to turn this around now, as that is a dead Magnus, no buyback whatsoever. Cheese is going to be applied. Boxy comes in with the Echo Slam. Only on 1 hero, it seems like. As Nisha gets off the toss. Going to be able to use the Ogre Steel Totem to get away. 2 dead for Liquid now. Make that 3, although the Wraith King will come back to life, but he is surrounded, and the rest of his team has abandoned him. So this will go the way of BetBoom. They still maintain Aegis after all of that as well. As V2 trying to walk it off, but some things you can't escape, and death is one of them.
And the other one is Shadow Shaman's tongue. He got, I think that was a 2% HP Sunder, and they still lost.
Yeah.
So imagine.
Now they have to worry about their base just a little bit here. Kiritich still has his ult to work with, as there's the Rolling Thunder from GPK. Gonna try to focus things on the Earthshaker. Boxy's dead, no buyback, and still no Wraith King for 40 seconds. Global Silence finally comes out.
SaberLight.
Rolling Thunder still up and running.
He needs to Sunder soon.
Yeah, he's gonna do that onto GPK, who gets the Swashbuckle off in time. Creep toss, but not to too much of effect, as Kiritich trying to focus on the backline right now, as Insania burning away, as Save with another long-range Shackle. Gonna be followed up with a Swashbuckle. They don't do too much damage here, as the toss is gonna be used to save Insania for the time being. As Kiritich, there's the second global. And this is going to be the Aegis down for GPK eventually, but the Crimson's preventing his death, it seems like, as SaberLight using the Ogre Steel Totem, putting himself in a precarious spot. He's going to get 4 steps multiple times, apparently. Back to the base he goes. Kiritich.
Ulti again.
Now the ulti is running out now. They're only able to get the range racks, though. They knew that the buyback was not available for Boxy, but apparently, with not this much HP left for their carry, Abaddon, they will back away and play it safe. The GPK, on the other hand, very gettable. There's the global to help continue this pressure, as GPK will lose his life. Has buyback, though, and Kiritich is going to jump in. That's a buyback now from GPK. Kiritich, I mean, that's probably not the hero you want to focus on. This is going to be the first ult coming out. Refresher still available. Wheel of Time. The Wraith King finally will die one time. Crimson Guard now onto Miero. He's going to have to skewer away. And the Sheep onto SaberLight, as Save is going to use... Okay, the RP comes out from Miero. He has the second one to use as well. SaberLight, no way to get his Thunder off. He is dead. No buyback. 5 versus 4 advantage. BetBoom. Rolling Thunder from GPK. Insania able to get to the high ground, though. And Nisha, ooh, Blink Dagger just in time. Can they get more on the BetBoom side? Another Global Silence, knowing that Liquid have to try to fight this out 4v5. But the Abyssal Blade applied. V-Tune still at half HP, and Save on the high ground. He's going to get the Shackle onto the Earthshaker. They're not doing too much damage, though, as GPK is blown up via V-Tune. And now BetBoom are on the retreat because no buyback available. That's a dieback for GPK. Kiritich ends up taking out V-Tune eventually. Still 90 seconds on deck, has the buyback, though. They take out Boxy as well, Insania with the TP, but it's canceled. And that is going to be the death of the Silencer. So 4 dead for Liquid. They have 2 buybacks remaining here, as Nisha should be able to get back to base just fine. We'll be pushing waves. Try to prevent this eventual push coming out from BetBoom.
They have a full minute. They have to.
Yeah.
Created a 12,000 distance to somehow Tiny being second on Liquid, by the way. I don't know how that's possible.
You definitely do not even go for this melee racks. You don't want to refresh any fortification coming out. Miero and company going to focus onto Nisha. Lincoln's applied, going to block one thing. Buybacks come out from 2 members, including V2. So they eventually do get the melee. Fortification available for Liquid. Now they're playing it safe. We'll be going for multiple lanes instead of the outright win. But again, the tier 2 bottom still up and running. Serpent Ward's placed.
Kiritich hits the 700 with Empower.
That's a lot.
He doesn't have a critical strike, but doesn't matter on the buildings.
Yep, they're going to get the second,
Toss.
but toss back.
Nice Manta dodge.
That's a lot of pressure onto Kiritich. Ult number 1. And they cancel the TP, not through the BKB, so he is away and out. I don't believe, although Nisha...
Totems, man.
Yeah, that's quite a bit of them. Orchid applied. They will find 1 member of BetBoom on the retreat. Ringmaster dead for 2 minutes, no buyback.
But
I guess it's not, yeah, it's just like it's a binary thing, whether it's on or off.
GPK.
SaberLight, Rolling Thunder applied. Along with the bash, SyndereN able to get off his ult onto the Abaddon. Magic Lamp goes off, and now the full reset likely, although Vtoon is in really deep. Miera's going to fake out the RP. Spotlight applied right now is Vtoon. Trying to get to the low ground. Going to take a knife. And save. Looks like he's going to get brought down eventually. Is the RP not really going to do too much here? That's already one dead, but the Rasta buys back instantly. Going to focus everything onto Insane. Tries to get to the high ground. He's dead. No way to get back in the game either. Aegis advantage still on the Liquid side, but the numbers are down. Kiritich getting really low. Echo Slam onto 2 from Boxy. And Vtoon getting extremely low in the meantime. Gonna get the shield crash off his Boxy. Getting really low, but the Stunner's gonna keep him alive a little bit longer. There's the RP finally coming out again from Miero. That's 2 dead though for Liquid. They buy back onto Boxy. Finally, a member of BetBoom dies without buyback, and that is the Rasta. Nisha being applied a lot of pressure from the Abaddon. Fissure onto a couple heroes as Boxy trying to get the high ground with that shard. There's the break, but it is on the Pango. Not gonna do too much, but the damage is there. Buyback down to GPK. Gonna try to apply more pressure here as the creeps are in their base as well. Nisha, A-Toast up. Just need a little bit more damage, but the Thunder's gonna keep him alive. As Kiritich trying to find the pesky Terrorblade on the outskirts, not gonna find him. Boxy's deleted instead. No buyback for him. And that's only 2 members left without any other buybacks here for Liquid. And they defend in a 2 versus 4 situation. And Kataomi pretty low, so they are gonna try to delete him. The Magic Lamp's gonna keep him alive. Nice bait from the BetBoom side. Wind Waker. Nisha just constantly doing things as apparently the Ancient is exposed. Will be fortified though, but Kiritich and company should be able to take this out as SyndereN has nothing left at his disposal, and that is the Ancient down. And BetBoom take game number 2. They did finish at the very end, but
Nisha got one at the very end.
Didn't really see it used on Abaddon from what I remember at least.
And I genuinely think this game could have been completely different if they had got the Silver Edge 15 minutes earlier.